I got sober and saved my life in a women's treatment center, and I'm a trans woman. I will never forget it. Year was 1991, and I finally hit the wall and hit my bottom of the diseases of more and reached out and came into recovery. And for me as a trans woman, yes, I'm one of those trans women that people are losing their minds about and how that president says that we don't exist and stuff. Yeah, I'm one of those people. And if I hadn't have gone into that place, I wouldn't have been sitting here today, 34 years in the program and living my best life. So please share this, repost, like, comment, do all the bells and whistles and stuff so we can get my message out there. Okay, back to the story. So I just finished a 6-week stint in Detox at Maple Cottage Detox in Vancouver when it was right beside Riverview, which was a psychiatric hospital at the time, because it's a fine line, isn't it? And during that 6 week, I still hid my little secret because you see, I was a pre-op trans woman back then. And you didn't know who you could trust with that information. Luckily, halfway through that 3 weeks, there was a psych nurse on duty, a guy, and he was really cool, an old hippie, and I did tell him about my anomaly. I used to call it was an anomaly, and I used to say that I was intersex because if you said that to people, they could accept it for some reason. You know, a lot of us do that. It's pretty sad, and I've never been tested. I don't really know. So it was there that he kept my secret, but he pushed for me to go to Aurora Treatment Center in Vancouver because he thought I was ripe and ready to go. I was willing to get into recovery because I never knew that there was another way to live. Because you see, I had been a throwaway from my family at 15, and I'd been surviving ever since then on my own. So at 28, they sent me to Aurora Treatment Center for Women, and it absolutely changed my life. Being able to heal with other women, because, you know, I worked the strolls and all that stuff, and went through all the abuse stuff, just like any other of my female friends, right? So it was so important that I healed with my tribe, with my women. And luckily there was a bunch of Haida tribe native women in Aurora as well. So we never really talked about it, but it's like I have a feeling that they knew it because Two-Spirit and everything is very embraced and sacred there, right? So I felt safe, even though it wasn't talked about. It was really sweet too. They actually did a ceremony, these Haida women, in the backyard one day, and they made me an honorary Haida and gave me a name too. So it's very, very special to my heart. So about 3 weeks into it, I had started to talk to one of the native women that made me an honorary Haida, and I told her about my anomaly, that you know, I still said it like that. And she says, oh, we'll talk to the counselor, just talk to the counselor, and it'd be so healing for you to do it. Because I was watching all of these other women healing to the tips of their toes, getting out all of their secrets and stuff, and I felt, you know, I always had to put my brain on digital delay because I couldn't talk about being raised as a boy until I was like, you know, 15, right? And in recovery, we have a term saying you're as sick as your secrets, and that you'll go out if you don't get that stuff out, right? So I was scared, so I actually made an appointment to see my counselor. And when I talked to my counselor, I told her that I was that I was intersex and that I had an anomaly, and I even said that my mother took thalidomide, and maybe she could have, because the cutoff date was the year that I was born, that they stopped doing thalidomide. That's when they talked about the flipper babies, like the people that were born with limbs that are abnormal and stuff. And I said, you know, that could have been what happened to my, you know, genitalia, right? Lies. It was crazy. It's just, and it felt so weird because I just had to have a case so I could like still be there, but sort of kind of tell the truth. Like kind of, it was just so weird because you couldn't trust anybody. So anyways, the next day she came and she said, could you want to talk to everybody in a healing circle today that we did every day? So I said, okay, let's do it. And so at that, I was so freaking nervous. And so at that, her name was Catherine. Catherine started saying that Marty has something to tell you. So I told the same story. And then she said that she did research that the night before after I told her. And she said that there actually was cases where like ambiguous genitalia happened because of thalidomide. And so I'm like in the corner going, whew, you know, wow, it's like my lie worked type of thing, right? So I still inside feel like I was cheating, right? Cheated myself. But anyways, everybody loved and did a healing circle around me, and they sang, and they all held me. There's a thing in recovery where you can, you know, hold a person laying down, and everybody's just holding them with their hands because there's so many people, and they're rocking back and forth, and they're singing the song The Rose, and I remember I was crying, but also thinking, oh my God, it's like I didn't totally tell the truth, but it's like this is good. I'll take this. So even though I feel like I've you know, robbed myself of that healing in that treatment center, I did go to a recovery house afterwards because they said I had no living skills, and of course I was insulted because I lived in penthouses and all that stuff. But what I had to, how I had to make that money to live in those penthouses would make your toes curl. So I went to this recovery house, and thank goodness that recovery house was run by two gay women. And it was there that I finally talked to them and I told them that my truth. But even that, it was in stages. First I came and I cried and I said, I'm lying, I'm not intersex. It's like, I'm a trans woman. And they said, oh, well, when did you get the surgery? And I went, oh, a long time ago. And then a couple weeks later I came down and I went, oh my goodness, it's like, I'm a liar. It's like I haven't had that surgery yet because they're not good yet. The one that I saw, I was traumatized when I saw like people that were done by him, and I canceled it. And one of the gay women, they stood up and they said, get up, I want to hug you. And they hugged me and they whispered in my ear, they said, one of the most beautiful things I ever heard in my life. And it was, Marty, we wouldn't care if you were an alien with 8 assholes. And I just sobbed and I thought, I have arrived. I finally felt to the tips of my toes that I was seen, that I was loved, and that I could begin my life. Because I wasn't alone anymore. And we aren't alone anymore. Love you.